Hey, what's up guys, it's Gabe Godines, and today I wanted to share with you a couple of things that I learned in an audiobook that I'm going through now with John Maxwell. It's John Maxwell's The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, and I figured because the church that I attend, Cornerstone Church of San Diego, is currently this year, 2015, focusing on growth, I'd figure I'd take on a little bit of extra and do some more for my own personal growth. And so I'm going through this book, and I wanted to share with you some of the things I learned in the first chapter. The first chapter is called The Law of Intentionality, and being intentional with your personal growth. And I learned a lot of things from John Maxwell, as most people usually do. But John shared how he didn't have a plan for growth. When we think, we look at John Maxwell today and we see the giant he is in teaching leadership and management skills to Fortune 500 companies all over the world. And we look at him and we think, well, man, this guy's amazing. But going back, obviously back to the 70s, he shared, which was a long time ago, but he shared that he didn't have a plan to grow. So he went and he found a mentor, and the first thing his mentor asked him, well, what was his plan? And he started to kind of go down the list of things he had accomplished and things he had been successful in, but he realized that he didn't have a plan to grow. And so he went through a couple of things that he calls growth gaps, and some of the reasons that many of us get stuck at that place where we realize, hey, we're not growing. We realize something needs to be done, but there are these gaps, these things that we deal with that will keep us from growing. And so the first one was the assumption gap, and he assumed when he came to his mentor that he would just grow automatically, just the way our bodies grow physically. Our bones get bigger as we get older, and we grow hair and just all of these things that happen automatically. He just figured that as you grow older, you become wiser, you gain more knowledge, and which is true to an extent. But if you want to grow personally to a level of a John Maxwell, or many other successful entrepreneurs all around the world, then you need to be intentional. And that's what this first chapter is about, is being intentional and the law of intentionality. And so he found out that he needed to be intentional about his growth, and his assumption was wrong. He also said that one of the other gaps is the knowledge gap. And, when he came to his mentor, he wasn't sure. He didn't have a plan, he shared, but he didn't know how, and the knowledge gap is you don't know how to grow. You don't know what to do. You don't know what resources to use, which nowadays is an excuse for us, is saying, I don't know. You can Google, how do I grow? You can Google those words and I'm sure you'll come up with tons of resources now. So that's the knowledge gap, though, is something that many people still fall back on and saying, I don't know how to grow. Another gap that he shared was the timing gap, and feeling like right now is not the right time, and I have work, I have kids, I'm married, there's no time. Gabe, I don't know how you want me to grow. There's just no time. I don't have a second on my calendar. Well, this law states that you have to be intentional, and just like you make time for everything else, if you want to grow in your personal growth, you have to be intentional about it. You have to put it on your calendar. You have to make time. And if you don't do that, then you're not going to grow. One of the gaps that he shared was the mistake gap. And the mistake gap says that you're afraid of making mistakes, and that's something that I've dealt with over the years. Is I just wanted to make sure that I knew people were watching social media. People are watching now on Instagram, Twitter, and everything you post. It's kind of like, what are people going to think? But you really have to get over the fear of what other people think, and the fact that you are going to make mistakes. You have to make mistakes in order to grow, so that you can learn what not to do and what to do. One of the other gaps was the perfection gap. The perfection gap states that you need to find the best way before you get started. And that's something that I've dealt with, something that I've been challenged with over the years is that perfection of, you have to have all the ducks lined up. I have to have all my ducks in a row before I get started. Everything has to be perfect. The stars need to be aligned, and the skies need to be clear. And when you get stuck in that, you get stuck in that, you know, and you won't ever get started because you're always trying to be perfect before you get started with anything. And so that's one of the gaps that we deal with in our own personal growth. The other, let's see, he said there's the inspiration gap. And, you know, sometimes we don't feel like growing. We don't feel like, you know, whatever the circumstances in our life, you get to that place where you don't feel inspired, you don't feel motivated. And what he shared was that in order to get through that gap, you need to just do it. You need to just go out and do it, because he said something like, you're more likely to act your way into feeling instead of feeling your way into acting. When you say, I don't feel like it, you're never going to do anything. But if you just do it, you'll get to the point eventually where you feel like doing it. And so that's, you know, getting over that inspiration gap. You just got to go out and do it. The comparison gap is the gap where you're comparing yourself, the gap of growing, in comparing yourself with other people and feeling like other people are better than you. And you don't have anything to offer, you know, the world, anything to offer the marketplace. Somebody's already done it, and you're comparing yourself to all those people that are out there. Well, the fact of the matter is that you have gifts and talents that are going to speak to someone out there, somebody else that's sitting at home searching the internet on how to grow and how to get over their challenges. And when you go out and you share those things with them, whether it be online or you know, on video or text on a Facebook post or whatever it is, sharing with other people your challenges and your frustrations and how you got through them is going to help the next person. And finally, the expectation gap, and expecting that personal growth and getting better at something is going to be easy or easier than you thought. And sometimes when we get stuck in that, we don't do anything because, or we start and then we quit because the expectation was that I thought this was going to be easier. I thought I would grow faster. I thought things would happen faster. And you know, the reality is that personal growth is a lifetime. John Maxwell shared that he, in his head, was asking the question when he decided, okay, I need to grow personally and personal growth is key to my success. He asked himself, well, how long is this going to take? You know, how long is it going to take for me to grow to the level of success? And he realized that that was the wrong question to be asking. The right question that he should have been asking, that we should all ask ourselves, is how far can I take this? How far can I take my personal growth? How far can I say, okay, I'm deciding to grow, I am creating a plan, and I'm putting that plan into action, I'm following through on that plan, and now, how far can I take that? You know, whether it's in your spiritual life, whether it's in your relational life, your financial, your business, whatever it is, you have to, you know, decide, okay, now's the time to change things in my life, and I need to do something different. From there, you need to create that plan. You need to seek out some mentors. You need to write down some goals. And then after that, you need to follow through on that. You know, just making a decision is not enough. John Maxwell shared a funny story that his dad always used to ask him and his siblings when they were young was, you know, there was a story of 5 frogs on a log. 4 decided to jump off. How many were left on the log? And John Maxwell said that, you know, he would always answer 1. You know, not always, but I guess the first time he asked, he had answered 1. And that's what I thought in my head when I heard him say that. And he shared that his dad had said, no, there's 5. You know, just deciding to do something doesn't mean that you're going to do it. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Doesn't mean that you're going to grow. You have to be intentional. Just like this law, the law of intentionality, you have to be intentional about your growth, and you have to go out and, you know, do whatever it takes. You know, he shared that he was at a conference, and that he learned that many of us, we sit back and we wait and we say, okay, I'll do it later. And he said no, that the speaker taught him that you have to, in the morning when you wake up, say to yourself 50 times, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. 50 times before you wake up, or when you wake up, and 50 times before you go to sleep, to get in your mental, in your spirit, that I have to do this now. Life is passing me by if I don't get started. Whatever it is that you're focusing on, whatever the dream, you have to do it now. Your life depends on it. You have to act like it does, because it does. Your life depends on it, and if you don't do it now, you're gonna see the world pass you by. Life is gonna pass like that. I've talked to so many of my friends, young people that have that I've mentored, that I've taught over the years, and you know, I told them when they were young, you know, you gotta get moving, because life is gonna pass you like that. Before you know it, you're gonna be 25 years old, 30 years old, you're gonna be married with kids, and if you don't get on your dreams and your goals now, you're gonna end up at a place where you're gonna wish you had. And so don't let that happen to you. I'm so thankful that you're watching this video today, that you've watched to the end here, and check the blog post or below this video somewhere. There's some more notes that I took on this first chapter, and I'm excited to share the rest of this audiobook with you. And I challenge you to go out and download it yourself. Download the digital version of the book, or go out to a bookstore if you can find one. They're very far and few between. Go out and find a bookstore and buy this book and go through it with me, and you know, decide and do you know, the growth that will make you somebody who can give back to this world. All right, this is Gabe Godines, GabeGodines.com, and I'm thankful for you today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out. Follow me somewhere on the internet, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and we'll connect. All right, we'll talk to you later. Have a great day. God bless you. Peace.